Welcome. The PTP Radio Cavalcade is proud to present Act 2 of The Big Sleep, starring Nick Zagone as Philip Marlowe and featuring Molly Souza as Carmen Sternwood and James Kusy as Joe Brody. And now, Act 2 of The Big Sleep.
I didn't know just how close I wanted to get to her. Even being the chauffeur had proved terminal. By now it was late afternoon. None of the early editions of the evening paper mentioned Geiger. I went back to his house. And who should I meet there but Carmen? She stood there among all the sad junk and stink of last night's filth, sucking her thumb. A pretty spoiled and not very bright little girl who had gone very, very wrong, and nobody was doing anything about it. To hell with the rich. They made me sick.
Hello.
What are you doing here? How much do you remember last night?
I was sick last night at home.
Like hell you were. You remember. Before I took you home, you remember spreading yourself on that chair.
Are you the police?
No. I'm a friend of your father.
Oh. What do you want?
Who killed Geiger? You were here.
Who else knows?
I don't know. Whoever took the body? Joe Brody, maybe?
Joe Brody? Him?
Did Brody kill him?
Kill who?
Christ.
Yes! Joe did it.
Why?
I don't know.
Seen much of him lately?
I hate him.
Are you willing to tell the police that it was Joe Brody if I can kill the nude photo angle? The photo's gone if that's what you came back here for, but probably Brody took it with him.
I hate him.
Carmen, this is a spot for a little old-fashioned simplicity. You're not kidding me about Brody?
No.
Okay. You don't give it another thought. Don't tell a soul you were here. Not even Vivian. Just leave it to Riley.
Your name isn't Riley. Vivian told me. I have to go home now.
Shh.
Excuse the casual entrance. Is Geiger around?
No, we just don't know where he is.
Uh-huh. You're, friends of his?
Business acquaintances. We dropped by for a book.
A book, huh?
Well, we'll trot along now.
Any message if Geiger comes back?
No, we won't bother you.
But you do, soldier. The girl can dust, but I'd like to talk to you a little.
I don't think we have anything to talk about.
A kidder! I have 2 boys out in my car that always do just what I want them to. Goodbye, sister.
Oh, yeah. Bye.
There's something wrong around here. And if you want to pick lead out of your belly, you get in my way.
Well, a tough guy.
Only when necessary, soldier. Let's you and me look around. What's in the cabinet? A portrait camera. I get the picture. What's that?
A rug.
Pull it. Blood. A lot of blood.
Does the gun make you feel better? Old blood. Dried blood.
Just who in the hell are you, soldier?
Marlowe is the name. I'm a sleuth.
Never heard of you. Who's the girl?
A client. Geiger was, trying a little blackmail. We came to talk it over. He wasn't here and the door was open.
Convenient.
Why would I have a key? Why do you have a key?
I own this house. Geiger's my tenant.
You know such lovely people.
Take them as they come. I think we'll have some law.
Go ahead. Call your friends downtown. Call the buttons. You'll get a big reaction from it.
I don't get your game here.
Maybe it just isn't your day. I know you. You're Eddie Mars. You run a club in Las Olindas, a flash gambling club for flash people. All through Prohibition, it was a nightclub, and there were 2 uniformed cops in the lobby every night to see that the guests didn't bring their own liquor instead of buying it from the house. Those good old days are gone, but the local law is still in your pocket with a well-greased line right into the city department. Protection. Geiger was in a racket, which needed it, too. Maybe you spared him some, seeing he was your tenant.
Geiger was in what racket?
Smut book racket.
Ah. I didn't find him at the store today. I came up to see about him. I find blood, you, and the girl. I think that's the story. You got to him.
You missed something. All his rental books were moved out of the store today.
Well, you get around. Should have thought of that, soldier. How do you figure it?
Somebody got to him. I think that's his blood. But they want to move the books before we find him so they can take over the racket.
They can't get away with that.
Why not? This is a big town now, Eddie. Some very tough people have checked in here lately. The penalty of growth.
All right. Let's go. Open the door.
Nah, open it yourself, Eddie.
Have you forgotten, soldier? I have the gun.
Who the hell are you to give me orders? Stop pointing that thing at me, and I might help you out.
All right. Talk.
I'm not ready. But whoever moved the books knows what's what, and I have a guess about that.
Who?
That's the part I'm not ready to give out. I have a client to protect. I expected you would know the girl.
No. Now who got the books, Seamus?
Why should I tell you?
I might make it worth your while.
I can always hear the sound of money, but for what? What could you want done?
Now listen, soldier. I asked you a question, and you asked me another. Now we're not getting anywhere. I've got my own reasons for wanting to find Geiger. I don't see any cops here, so either you don't know anything, or you're not telling them. I think you might need a little protection yourself.
You're right. If I knew anything, I'd have to tell the cops. So, I have nothing to sell. So, with your permission, I'll drift.
A kidder.
Oh, by the way, how is Mrs. Mars these days?
Beat it. I don't give a damn about what you know, or where you go, or what you do when you get there. Only take a word of advice, soldier. You leave me out of your plans, or you wish your name was Murphy, and you lived in Limerick.
I hear you. And she had a pal came up around there, name of Regan.
What?
Nah. It's all right. I'm on my way. Blackmail is a dirty business. I'd been hired by old General Sternwood to protect his 2 daughters, Carmen and Vivian. Now, the first blackmailer, Geiger, was dead, and the body had disappeared. Another dead man had been found off Lido Pier. Carmen was a little crazy, and Vivian was a lot scared. She had mislaid a husband called Rusty Regan, but that was none of my business. It was none of my business that he had disappeared with the wife of a big-time racketeer named Eddie Mars. The old man hadn't hired me to find Regan. All I was looking for was a cheap crook who thought he could take over a blackmail racket that had gone wrong, a missing body, and a couple of killers. I went to pay a call on a grafter named Joe Brody.
Agnes! Quick, get behind the curtain.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Are you Joe Brody?
Yeah, so what?
I'm looking for Geiger.
You got the wrong place. I don't know him.
That's very funny.
Hey, go peddle your sense of humor somewhere else.
Joe, you have the books from the back room, but I have the list of clients. We ought to talk. Okay. Come in. Hey, hold it right there. It wouldn't bother me to use this gun. Such a lot of guys around this town with so few brains. You're the second today that seems to think a gat in the hand means a world by the tail. You all watch pictures too much. Put it away, Joe.
Hey, you just shut up and grab a little air while you're doing it, huh?
The other one was Eddie Mars. You ever heard of him?
No.
If he finds out where you were in the rain last night, he'll wipe you off.
No. What would I mean to Eddie Mars?
Not even a memory.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm not tough. I'm just being careful. I don't know. Hell's first whisper about you. You might be a life taker. Now, what's your story?
First, tell your lady friend behind the curtains I can see her neat little toes.
Come on out, Agnes.
The blonde from the bookstore.
Ever read Ben-Hur?
I knew you were trouble. How did you know we moved the books here?
I followed the van. It was a dumb move.
Tell me about the list.
Put the gun away first.
Okay. Now talk.
The list is in code I haven't cracked yet. About 500 names. Say, you have 500 smut books at $1 a rental. We could make over $100,000 a year. Personally, I think the blackmail angles are a big mistake. People who want secondhand sex jags are a nervous class. I think we should stick to rentals.
You think Geiger ran that kind of business right out on the boulevard and I worked in it? You're crazy.
If a racket like that has to exist and Hollywood is made to order for it, then right out on the street is where the practical cops want it, for the same reasons they favor the red light districts.
Joe, are you gonna let this cheesehead insult me?
Hey, pipe down, Agnes. This guy has good ideas.
I'll give you another. You shot Geiger to get control.
Hey, you take chances, mister.
The trouble was he wasn't alone when you walked in and whiffed him. So you lammed her with a plate out of the camera and then came back to hide the body. That gave you time to take the books.
But I didn't kill him, mister.
You're made to order for the rap.
Hey, you can't frame me.
Remember the witness. She'll tell it however I say.
Oh, man, she would too.
I see you know Carmen. Give me the negative, Joe.
Huh? I guess you think I'm dumb.
No, just average for a grafter.
Joe, who's there?
Hey, just take it easy. Take it easy. I'll answer it.
I hate you, Joe Brody!
Oh, hey, Carmen, now, Carmen, for Christ's sakes, put the gun down, Carmen.
I want my pictures! I want my pictures! Give me my pictures! I want my pictures!
Carmen, would you wait? Carmen.
I want my...
Carmen? Hey, Carmen, remember me? I'm your friend. I'm a friend of your father. Carmen, give me the gun.
Keep her away from me.
I'll get your pictures for you, Carmen. I'm your friend. Just give me the gun.
I want my pictures!
Give them to me, Brody, and be careful which pocket you put your hand in.
Here they are. Just keep her away from me.
You see? I told you I'd get them for you. Here they are. A present for you. I'll give them to you, and, you give me the gun.
I want my pictures!
Then give me the gun. That's it. Here you are. You got your pictures now. Now, why don't you just let me take care of everything for you, huh? I'll look after this. I'm your friend. Why don't you go home?
Home?
You go home. Wait for me.
You'll take care of me?
Sure I will.
You're cute.
What you see is nothing. I've got a Balinese dancing girl tattooed on my right thigh. Huh? Now, why don't you go home and wait for me?
I like you. I like you a lot.
Wait for me.
I'll go home. I'll wait. don't be long.
Joe, are you okay?
She just grazed me. Just leave me alone.
Oh, half smart guy. That's all I ever draw. Never once a guy that's smart all the way around the course.
Let's hear it now, Joe. How did you come by the pictures?
Oh, take the air. I've got enough chinning with you.
God, you are so dumb. Even if you don't dance off other crime, you'll have such a bleak, long, lonely time ahead of you.
You wouldn't go to the cops. Not if you're working with the Sternwoods.
I can't cover for up 2 murders.
2 murders? What 2 murders?
Where were you last night?
I was watching Geiger's place. I wanted to know his connection, but all I see is a car up the street.
That was me.
And one down where I am, it was empty. A Buick registered to Vivian Regan.
You know where that Buick is now?
What?
It was lifted out of the sea with a dead man in it who had been sapped before the dive.
Well, you can't pin that on me.
Why not? The dead man was the chauffeur. He took the car without permission. Furthermore, he was sweet on Carmen and didn't like the games Geiger played with her. So he follows her, shoots Geiger, grabs the picture, and runs. You follow him. Now, what cop isn't going to believe you knocked him off and took the picture yourself?
No. I just chased the guy, he crashed the Buick on a corner. He hit his head, I swear, and knocked himself out. So I searched him, I found the plate, and then he wakened up and knocked me off the car and drove on. That's all.
Where'd you hide Geiger's body?
You think I'd go back there?
Well, somebody hit it.
Oh God, is she back again?
Don't you have any other friends?
Maybe somebody called the cops.
Answer it.
Yeah, I'll go.
Joe Brody.
Yeah?
And that was Brody. Dead. By the time I got his body away from the door and ran down the stairs in front of the apartment house, the killer was away and running. A tall kid in a leather jerkin. He kept running, so he had no car. I drove around the block to get ahead of him, and when he appeared out of the darkness, I showed him Carmen's little gun and shoved it behind the wheel of my car. It was Karl, the handsome boy from Geiger's store. You must have thought a lot of your queen, Karl.
What do you want?
What's it to be, me or the cops?
Is that a choice?
Put your gun on the back seat. Then we'll sit here and wait for the patrol to pass. What's your full name?
Karl Lundgrand.
Well, Karl, you shot the wrong guy. Joe Brody didn't kill your queen.
Who said he was?
You lived with him. He was like Caesar, a husband to a woman and a wife to a man. I think I can figure out people like him and you out. Drive to Geiger's house. Just be quiet, Karl. You shouldn't have tried to swing at me. That's right. You know what it's like. Just hold your breath till you can't hold it any longer and then tell yourself you have to breathe. You're black in the face, your eyeballs are popping out. You have to breathe. And you're sitting strapped in a clean gas chamber. And when you take that breath, you're fighting with all your soul not to take it. And it won't be the air you get. It'll be cyanide fumes. That's what they call humane execution in our state now. Huh?
I loved him. He was mine. I came home and found him.
So you hid his body and laid it out with black candles at his head and feet and promised him revenge.
Yes.
But you don't want to die, do you, Karl? Then you better cooperate, plead guilty, and tell your story just the way I want you to, right?
Uh-huh.
Bernie Ohls.
This is Marlowe. Did your boys find a revolver on the chauffeur this morning?
That would be police business.
If they did, it had 3 empty shells in it.
How the hell did you know that?
I can show you where the slugs went.
Hey, look out the window. You'll see me coming around the corner. What's the address?
When Ohls came, we all went to his boss, the district attorney, Taggart Wilde, who'd first recommended me to General Sternwood. He was with a Captain Cronjager of the LA Police. We told our stories, and Cronjager began to look very nasty.
I love private dicks that play murders close to the waistcoat. Let me ask Marlowe a question. Am I to take it that you did not report a murder last night and spent the day foxing around so this kid could commit another murder this evening?
I guess I did wrong, but I wanted to protect my client.
Yeah, whoever that is.
I had no reason to think the boy would go gunning for Brody.
Such thinking is police business, Marlowe. So maybe Brody was living on borrowed time, but a life is a life.
Tell that to your coppers the next time they shoot down some scared crook running away up the alley with a spare tire.
All right, that's enough of that. Now, what makes you so sure, Marlowe, that the chauffeur shot Geiger?
He had the gun, the motive, and the opportunity. A nude photo of my client. Jealousy. He was in love with her. Afterwards, he committed suicide off the pier.
What have you left out, Marlowe?
My client is entitled to protection short of a grand jury. I suppose the word private has some meaning. You have the killers, the guns, and the motive. Blackmail angle has to be suppressed.
Sure. I'd be glad to stooge for a Seamus of your status.
The grand jury might also want to know how Geiger ran a smut book racket out in the open, and why the police allowed it to operate for their own reasons.
Grand juries do ask these embarrassing questions sometimes, in a rather vain effort to find out just why cities are run the way they are run.
Well, look, I'm 1 against 3 here. I'm a homicide man. Book's on my beat. I'll take my prisoner now.
He's waiting outside. Come with me.
Well, Marlowe, do you know why I'm not tearing your ear off?
I expected to get both ears torn off.
So what are you getting for it all?
$25 a day in expenses?
Just over $50 so far?
About that.
And for that, you're willing to get yourself in Dutch with half the law enforcement here?
What the hell am I supposed to do? It's against my principles to have told as much as I did tonight, without consulting the general. Cops get very large and emphatic when an outsider tries to cover up, but they do the same every day to oblige their friends or anybody with a little pull. I'm still on the case.
Yeah, providing that Cronjager doesn't get your license. Look, Marlowe, my father was a close friend of old Sternwood. I'll do all I can to save him from grief. Hell, we can even save him from this one, provided you make a complete statement to the files. But in the long run, it can't be done. Not with those 2 daughters. They oughtn't be running around loose. And I blame him for that. I guess he doesn't realize what the world is today. And there's another thing. I'll bet the general is afraid his runaway son-in-law that he was so fond of is mixed up in this somehow. And what he really hoped you would find out is that he isn't.
The general didn't ask me to find Regan or protect him.
Well, be careful, Marlowe.
Marlowe.
Yeah? Move away from my door.
Boss wants to talk to you.
What about?
What do you care? Just keep your nose clean and everything will be Jake.
I smell of policemen. I'm too tired to talk, too tired to eat, and too tired to think. But if you think I'm not too tired to take orders from Eddie Mars, try getting out your gat before I shoo your ears off.
Nuts. You don't carry a gun.
I'm not always naked.
Okay. You win. I wasn't told to blast anybody. You'll hear from me.
Too late will be too soon.
Nuts.
He went away. I grinned at my own foolishness and went into my apartment. I cleaned the little gun I had taken from Carmen and put it away. Then made myself a drink. Yeah.
So you're tough tonight.
Big, fast, and full of prickles. What can I do for you, Mars?
The cops. Did you keep me out of it?
Why should I?
Look, I'm nice to be nice to, soldier, and not nice to be not nice to.
Can you hear my teeth chattering?
Did you keep me out of it?
I guess it was complicated enough without you.
Ah, well, thanks, soldier. Someday I may be able to do you a favor.
Hang up and let me go to bed.
You're looking for Rusty Regan, aren't you?
A lot of people seem to think so, but I'm not.
If you were, I could give you an idea. Drop in and see me, soldier. Anytime.
I had one other thing to do. I called the Sternwood house and left a message that everything was all right. And then I went to bed.
You've been listening to Act 2 of The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler, starring Nick Zagone as Philip Marlowe and featuring Molly Souza as Carmen Sternwood, Joe Eddington Morrison as Eddie Mars and Captain Cronjager, James Kusy as Joe Brody and Bernie Ohls, Ashlee Lujan-Garner as Agnes, Scott Hewitt as Karl Lundgrand, Larry Zabel as D.A. Taggart Wilde, and Jack Souza as The Hood. Be sure to tune in for Act 3 of the PTP Radio Cavalcade's production of The Big Sleep.